Alright, are you guys ready for the next part of our Dragon Blood wine making experience? Alright, before we get started, we want to check our specific gravity with a hydrometer to make sure that we have 3 consecutive days under 1.0 that is pretty stable, where it's not really fermenting anymore. Fermentation is being finished. Alright guys, we're back with the Dragon's Blood wine, and what we're going to be doing is racking out at a primary into a couple of carboys. I'm going to be using my vacuum pump setup. You can very easily do the same thing using the auto siphon or any method you want to get the wine from the bucket into the carboys. The steps we're going to be doing here is we're going to be adding the wine to the carboys, then adding some sulfite and degassing. Okay, and you could degas by using the drum-mounted stir device, the mix stir, but I'm going to be degassing using my vacuum pump at the same time as racking. So you could do it either way, any way you want. Alright, so at this point, one of the things you might be asking is, well, why do I have 2 carboys? I have a 5-gallon and a 3-gallon here. And the reason I have that is because I think I have more than 6 gallons in here. And if I just relied on a 6-gallon carboy, I would be overflowing that carboy and putting Dragon's Blood wine all over the floor, which is not what I want to do. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be racking to 2 smaller carboys, a 5-gallon and a 3-gallon, because I think I got about 7 gallons. And I'm going to leave a little room in each one for degassing. Alright, so that's what I'm up to, and let's get started. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is taking my bag here and squeezing out as much of the Dragon's Blood as I can. Like I said, I'm over the 6-gallon mark on this pail. So I would be very careful if you were doing the same exact thing I am, but racking to a 6-gallon carboy, because you probably will overflow it in the process. And I'm going to start the pump. I have my sediment tip on here, and I'm going to let it rip. And so that you can see, during the transfer process, alright, so I really lowered the volume on this part of the video, but one of the things you could see as far as the benefit of vacuum degassing or vacuum racking is that it degasses quite a bit of the CO2 out of the wine at the same time as doing the racking. And you could see that by the bubbles coming up in the racking experience as I'm doing this. You can see as this goes along, you'll see the bubbles really start to rise as the vacuum that's inside of that carboy rips out of the wine the CO2. The degassing is one of the features I really love about this vacuum pump method of transferring. Now if I want to just degas without transferring wine, I could simply shut this off, this valve, and at this point it's just degassing without transferring wine. So I could do that for a couple minutes, turn it back on again and go for it. See, at this point we're just degassing. You can see some of the bubbles dying down. I'll turn it back on again. There we go. At this point I'm going to switch this over to the 3-gallon. Alright, so as I filled up my 5-gallon carboy, I am transferring over to the 3-gallon, and leaving room in the top for some more of the degassing as this goes. Alright, so at this stage in the game, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding my sulfites to the wine. And the way I'm going to do that is by crushing 1 Camden tablet per gallon of wine in each carboy. So I'm going to be crushing those out and putting it in and mixing it up. That's what I'm doing now. After adding the Camden tablet, 1 per gallon, I am stirring that in. Alright. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make up my sparkleoid. Pour that in and stir it in as well. Alright, be right back. One of the things you want to make sure you do before you add the sparkleoid is to make sure your wine is very degassed. And I used a vacuum pump. But if you don't have a vacuum pump, you could also use this mixer device that you've seen me use on my other videos. It connects to a drill. And you basically put this into the wine and hit it with the drill, and it stirs it up and stirs out the bubbles out of the wine, stirs out the CO2. So you want to make sure it's completely flat before you proceed. Alright, so I got my sparkleoid. I have another video on how to make sparkleoid. Get it ready for this. I'm going to add the sparkleoid to both of these. Sparkleoid is a hot mix clarifier, and I'm going to stir that in really nice. And both of these. Alright, and then I'm going to be putting on my tops with the airlocks. And setting that aside for 10 days. Alright, I'll be right back. Hey, I wanted to show you guys the 2 different types of airlocks that are available because I've had questions on both of them. I usually use the one that's on the left, but there's another type that's the one on the right. And the one on the right is a perfectly acceptable airlock, works fine. But I tend to most of the time use the one on the left. So I just wanted to show you these airlocked. I'm going to put these aside now for approximately 10 days, wait for them to clear, and we'll be good to go. So thanks for watching. Alright everybody, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you like what you see, please subscribe to my video channel here on YouTube. And definitely check out my blogs, www.cookingitalianrecipes.com with the dashes in the middle, or my other one on winemaking, howtomakehomemade.biz. Thanks for watching, please subscribe, and have an awesome day.